everyone. Okay, so to start, the episode kicks off by showing Vivi and Wobble's escape from Marijua, and I do like little moments like this where we see Vivi display her quick thinking and ingenuity to get out of a situation. Because, I'll be honest, out of all the princess characters we've been introduced to, Vivi has always been the one I'm the most mixed on. I like her the most out of all of them, and I like when she does show that side of her. But every time she did, it was always usually followed up with a moment where that kind of follows the usual "I'm not a damsel" trope. So it's just kind of nice to see the her ability and ingenuity to escape and actually succeed. I especially think it's impressive here, especially considering she's got a lumbering pound of flesh like Wapple with her. But okay, in all seriousness though, I do like with this I do like with this background knowledge of what happened at Marijua, what both Wapple and Vivi roaming around really means, which is that it's one of those loose ends that has the potential to bite the government in the ass, especially now that we know the Nefertari are a clan of D. Although this is one thing that did annoy me even when reading the manga, which is how Wapple is such a scared ass bitch that he refuses to tell even Vivi about what happened to Cobra. Although, in retrospect, is, despite how cruel it is not telling her, just knowing how reckless Vivi can be, it might also be for the best as well. And it is interesting to see how we see all these events build on top of each other in the aftermath of Cobra's death as well. But with that said, though, there are a few things to talk about as well with this episode. As it also gives us the moments leading up to what is now known as the Mother Flame being used to destroy Lucia. And first off, the fact that Vegapunk helped develop that thing really gives off the vibe that this might in fact be an ancient weapon of some kind. I think Mother Flame is just the name Vegapunk and the government have given it. Secondly, though, following up with Vivi's escape, Emu demands she be brought back to Marijua, and this to me is the more fascinating piece to talk about, because on one hand, according to Ivankov, we learn that Emu might be one of the original kings from 800 years ago, known as Saint Emu of the Nerona dynasty. But if that is the case, and that he was supposedly the first king to obtain immortality, likely through the method I think Doflamingo was hoping to achieve it by using the Op fruit, then that just begs the question yet again, where do the Nefertari come into play? Because the only thing that makes sense, at least in regards to the information we know, is, especially for taking Emu's true identity at face value, is that Lily did in fact die back then, but what ended up happening is that Emu, through whatever process he did use to become immortal, used Lily's corpse as a new host body. Now, where Vivi comes into the picture is a little more difficult and requires a bit of theory crafting, but I almost have to imagine there was a problem with the if in fact Emu is using Lily's body as a vessel now, then I have to almost imagine there was a problem with the transference. And although Emu succeeded in achieving immortality, the body it inhabits is unstable and needs the blood of a Nefertari, Lily's blood, and in this case Vivi's blood, in order to become whole or complete. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, at least, and it's the only thing that would kind of it's the only thing that kind of sounds like it would make the most sense. I guess it would make sense as to why Emu needs Vivi. But and obviously outside of that, the the episode ends by giving us the reveal of a new character to worry about, which is after the reveal that Saint Miosgard was killed and hung up hung up to be executed and displayed to the rest of the of the celestial dragons. We then get the reveal of the man who killed him, Supreme Commander of the Holy Knights, Feakerland Garling. And I won't, and as I'm gonna be stingy here, I won't give away anything that's been revealed in the manga about this guy, obviously. But just from this guy's revelation, you can tell this is no ordinary old man. This is no no matter how goofy he looks with his moon shaped hair. Like obviously, but even then, even if I don't give anything away, you can already tell this guy is going to be a huge problem, a rather big one actually, which yeah, it does make it slightly more painful that regular production is going on hiatus next week because there's so much to explore with this character and how it does tie back into what's going on at Egghead. But that's a discussion for another time, I suppose. Which, if I did have, I suppose actually if I did have one major problem with this episode, is there were moments that did make this episode feel like a bit of unnecessary recap. It obviously isn't because I've read the manga and I know that yes, this is all stuff that had happened in the manga, but even the manga, but in retrospect, looking back on this, yeah, even then it still kind of had a little bit of that. Even when reading the manga, it still had a little bit of that recap feel. So it's like, yeah, it's it's so yeah, it's interesting how this episode was translated. It does feel even more like a bit of a recap, even though it's not. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to push the subscribe button, and share it around, guys. Dark Knight, signing off. Later, everyone.